Hello dear current and future EV owners. In this video, we're going to talk about the world of car dealerships. We'll uncover why they are refusing to lower the prices, how it's affecting you as a buyer, and what you can do about it. I'll share some insider tips about how to beat them in their own game. Like 99.7% of you guys ain't subscribed, so please subscribe so we can start pushing more content for you. Recently I saw a Ford F-150 with a $35,000 market adjustment on top of its $41,000 MSRP, which is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. A $76,000 price tag for a truck that should cost almost half of that. This isn't just crazy. This is the new norm. Dealerships are stuck in the past, refusing to budge on prices even though the market's changing. You'd think with lots full of unsold cars, dealers would be scrambling to cut prices. But no, what's driving this stubborn behavior? The reason goes deeper than you might expect. Let's break down why dealerships seem to operate in a different economic reality. First off, they're dealing with massive inventory costs. These cars aren't just sitting pretty on the lot, they're tying up huge amounts of capital. Dealerships have to pay for these vehicles up front, and every day they sit unsold, it's money not working for them. Then there's the profit margin game. Dealerships typically aim for a 10% profit on each car sale. But here's the kicker, that's not just on the car's cost. It includes overhead like salaries, utilities, and marketing. So when you see that inflated price tag, it's not all going straight into the dealer's pocket. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but shouldn't they lower prices to move inventory faster? Well, that's where market expectations come in. Dealerships have gotten used to sky-high prices during the inventory shortages of the past few years. They're banking on consumers still being willing to pay these inflated prices. Here's how they justify it. Limited availability, high demand models, market adjustments. And let's be real, as long as some people are willing to pay these prices, dealerships will keep pushing them. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a growing disconnect between dealership strategies and what consumers actually want. While dealerships are sticking to their guns on pricing, more and more buyers are saying, no thanks, I'll wait. And actually I'm one of them. This is where the insider perspective comes in handy. Having been on the other side of the desk, I can tell you that dealerships are starting to sweat. They're seeing inventory pile up, but they're hesitant to be the first to blink in this pricing standoff. What dealerships aren't telling you is that they're facing increasing pressure from manufacturers. Automakers want to see cars moving off lots, not collecting dust. This puts dealerships in a tight spot. Keep prices high and risk angering both customers and manufacturers, or start lowering prices and potentially trigger a race to the bottom. Here's another factor at play. Dealerships are worried about setting new expectations. If they start slashing prices now, they fear customers will always expect those lower prices. It's a short-term versus long-term battle in their minds. But here's the thing, the market isn't changing whether dealerships like it or not. Online car buying options are expanding, giving consumers more power to compare and negotiate. Plus, with interest rates rising, fewer people can afford these inflated prices, even if they wanted to. So, what does this mean for you, the buyer? It puts you in a stronger position that you might think. Dealerships are feeling the heat, even if they are not showing it yet. They're sitting on inventory that's not moving, and every day that passes, they are losing money. This is where patience becomes your secret weapon. If you can hold out, you might just see those prices start to crack. It's a game of chicken, and right now, dealerships are counting on consumers to blink first. So dealerships think that they can outlast us. Here's a wild thought. What if their stubbornness actually backfires? Let's take a peek at the ticking time bomb they're sitting on. Picture this. Rows and rows of shiny new cars just sitting there gathering dust. It's not just an eyesore, it's a financial nightmare for dealerships. Every day these cars sit unsold, they are losing value. And I'm not talking chump change here. Now you might be thinking, well, that's their problem, right? Not so fast. This standoff affects us all. For starters, it limits our choices as consumers. Sure, there are plenty of cars on the lot, But with those inflated prices, it's like looking at a menu where everything costs an arm and a leg. It pushes many of us out of the market entirely. But here's where it gets really interesting. Dealerships are starting to sweat, and they're resorting to some pretty desperate tactics. I'm talking about aggressive sales pitches, misleading advertising, and pressure to buy now before prices go up even more. It's like they're trying to scare us into submission. Let me break down the real cost of this dealership greed for you. First off, there's the maintenance. These cars aren't just sitting pretty, they need to be kept in showroom condition, which means regular cleaning, battery maintenance, and even occasional repairs. All of this costs money, eating into the potential profit. Then there's the opportunity cost. Every day a car sits unsold is a day that money could have been reinvested in something else. It's like having a giant pile of cash just sitting there, not earning a cent of interest. But the real kicker, the longer this goes on, the worse it gets for dealerships. As new models come out, these unsold cars becomes less desirable. Eventually, they might have to sell them at a loss just to clear the lot. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. If this trend actually continues, we could see some serious long-term consequences for the auto industry. We're talking about potential dealership closures, job losses, and a ripple effect through the entire supply chain. It's not just about car sales, it's about the health of a major sector of our economy. And this situation is giving us more bargaining power than we have had in years. Dealerships are getting desperate. Even if they are not showing it yet, they need to move these cars. They know it. So next time you're in the market for a new ride, remember, time is on your side. Don't be afraid to walk away if the price isn't right. Chances are that car will still be there next week, and the dealership will be even more eager to sell. And here's a pro tip. Pay attention to how long a car has been on the lot. The longer it has been sitting there, the more negotiating power you have. Dealerships hate having the same inventory month after month. It looks bad, and it costs them money. You've got more cards in your hand that you might think. Ever wonder why some people walk away with killer deals while others get taken for a ride? It's not luck, it's strategy, and I'm about to show you how to play your hand like a pro. First things first, let's talk about the power of walking away. I know it sounds simple, but you would be amazed how many people forget this basic move. When a dealership won't budge on price, don't be afraid to show him that you're interested in the car, and all of a sudden just say, you know what, the price is too high, thank you. Trust me, nothing makes a salesperson sweat more than watching a potential sale walk out the door. But here's the kicker, you need to be prepared to actually walk away. This isn't a bluff. Be ready to check out other dealerships or even explore alternative options. Speaking of which, have you considered private sellers or even online marketplaces? These can be gold mines for deals, especially if you're willing to do a bit of legwork. Now let's talk about timing. Buying a car is like fishing. You've got to know when to cast your line. End of the month, end of the quarter, or end of the year are prime times. Dealerships are often scrambling to hit sales targets during these periods. That's when you swoop in with your offer. But before you even step a foot on a lot, do your homework. Research is your secret weapon. Know the fair market value of the car that you want. Sites like Kelly Blue Book or NADA guides are great starting points. Armed with this info, you're not just guessing, you're negotiating from a position of knowledge. Don't be shy about letting dealerships know you're shopping around. Get quotes from multiple places and use them to your advantage. Nothing motivates a dealership more than knowing they might lose your business to a competitor. Let's talk about a strategy that's often overlooked. Focusing on the total cost, not just the monthly payment. Dealerships loves to steer you towards thinking about the monthly payment, because it's easier to hide fees and extend loan terms. So don't fall for it. Keep your eye on the total price and negotiate from there. Another tactic, be on the lookout for cars that have been sitting on the lot for a while. These are prime targets for negotiation. Dealerships want to move these cars, and if you can spot them, you've got instant leverage. Remember, patience is your superpower. Don't feel pressured to buy right away. Take your time, compare offers, and be willing to wait for the right deal. This market is changing and time is on your side. Here's something many people overlook. Check for manufacturer incentives and rebates before you start negotiating. These can sometimes be substantial, and knowing about them gives you another bargaining chip. Lastly, pay attention to the details. Read every line of the contract. Watch out for unnecessary add-ons or fees. Things like extended warranties, paint protection, or administrative fees can often be negotiated down or removed entirely. So here's what I want you to do. Share your car buying stories in the comments down below, and most importantly, please don't forget to subscribe. Only like a fraction of you guys is actually subscribed, so please subscribe so we can push more like this content. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.